Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Brodega podcast. He is Tommy, and I am Cole.
What's up, guys?
And in this week's episode of the New Improved Brodega podcast, we are going to be going over some mailbag questions we got. A lot of you guys message us with some life advice that we're going to answer because, you know, we're qualified to do that. We're going to talk about the one, the only, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, retiring.
Yep, official.
And the reason why he's called the GOAT is for the amount of Super Bowls he's won, and we have the Super Bowl coming up.
Oh, yeah, next week.
So we're going to go a little bit over the Super Bowl, how it came about, and the media empire that is the Super Bowl. And then finally, I have a great business idea that I've come up with, and I'm back on my fucking TikTok rant.
Yeah, we put up a few questions on the Instagram for polls and a lot of interaction. Thank you guys for that. It was a lot of you guys were helpful with the polls. Pretty lopsided on the questions, but definitely had some really good questions in there as well.
One of them I'm actually really shocked about.
What's that?
The TikTok one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we've said it on the show before. I am not a big TikTok fan, and it's not the like elitist. I'm a man. I don't need TikTok shit.
I love TikTok.
It's just the manners that have come out.
Yeah.
Around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the more and more this app's out, the more and more I find pet peeves with it. And we've talked about before, like people playing TikTok in public for me to hear them, right?
Yeah.
But then the other part of it is I think I can tolerate it more when I know that you're giving me a conscious effort so I don't have to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
But then, like, no one ever does that. It's always at 100% volume. And then I got to hear, like, I either got to hear that shitty, that Boston accent they added in the fucking update.
Yeah.
So I asked my boyfriend, you know, like that little voice they added. I hear that one a lot. Or I hear, I never knew nobody. You know, like,
yeah.
And it's always at 100%. And I'm like, I'm always trying to do something. Or like we've talked about in the car. So it's like, you might as well just turn the music off.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I'm with, I think, what was the poll? I think it was.
So I'm pulling it up right now.
It was pretty close. I remember that.
So it was closer than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Over 50%. So we asked, what is an acceptable TikTok volume? And now I did broad strokes, right?
Yeah.
Over 50%. 42% of our voters said it should be over 50%. 58% of our voters said under 50%. So my team won, but not as marginally different as I thought.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're, okay, so yeah, it was broad, so I can understand where they're like, well, yeah, if I'm listening by myself, I'm going to listen to it over 50%. But I think if we change it and put, if you're in the presence of someone else, what should your TikTok volume be? Over or under 50%?
Well, there's an update for next episode.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if someone's like sitting next to me, I'm not going to be sitting here blaring of anything on my phone. YouTube video, like...
Well, that's why I like you, Tommy, because I don't think I'd do a podcast with you if you did that. But what I've noticed is the majority of people that I fucking know don't do that.
Because you got to imagine, like, at 50%, if you're right here looking at your phone and it's a foot and a half away from your face, it's loud enough.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I watch YouTube at 50%, if not lower.
Yeah.
If I'm in the presence of other people, like anybody.
I catch myself too if I like if I don't want to, because like it's just being courteous.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, just being courteous. You know what I mean, to other people, to people in your surrounding.
At work, I play YouTube off to the side. I put my headphones in so I can hear.
Exactly. Right. Everybody has headphones. Everybody.
You can buy headphones for like $7.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
There's so many different types of headphones you can fucking buy. You can buy wireless headphones for like $30.
Yeah. Cheaper than that, honestly.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
that's what I'm getting at. But
Mm-hmm.
like if I watch YouTube without headphones, I'm at least at 50%.
Yeah.
Or I
I
guess I
catch
say at
myself.
most
Yeah.
50%.
I'm catching myself like putting it to my ear, like, oh, okay, like just to, like not
Yeah.
like be an asshole in your surroundings.
I'm just noticing it more and more. I think I blew up on someone at work about it. I was like, "Fuck's sake, dude!" And then, yeah, it's just that whole thing. I know we keep coming back to this one. It's just every couple of weeks, I'm like, "Well, there's another reason why I hate this fucking app, dude." And mind you, there are a lot of great videos. I laugh my ass off. You send me some funny ass shit.
Yeah.
It's just it's I don't know. It's the people that work it, I guess. But I wanted to
Yeah.
see if I was just being a dramatic bitch about it.
No, I agree. I mean, it's just being courteous, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And there's a lot of people just don't give a shit. That's when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
There's like, well, it's my thing. I don't give a shit about my surroundings.
Well, speaking of like watching YouTube and stuff,
Mhm.
I think over the past couple of months, I've been a bigger coffee drinker outside of pumpkin spice lattes. But something I like to do on the weekends is because I get up so early in the morning for work, sleeping in for me is like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I know you're Tommy side-eyeing me right now because there's sometimes I'll text Tommy and I'll be like, "Hey, when we were recording today," and it'll be like 12:30, and Tommy's like, "Oh, I just woke up," and I'm like, "What the fuck? Are you 16?"
If I don't have my kid with me, I for sure sleep in. And then there's like the sleep in with your kid,
Yeah.
You turn on Netflix, you give her whatever she wants in bed so you can sleep with crumbs for the next week. just and then we just watch, we watch Netflix and I doze in and out, but the alarm's on, everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But she's just that's not real sleeping in. Yeah, if I don't have my kid, dude, I played Apex until like 1 a.m. and I finally go to bed. Or if it's Friday, I'm talking to my girlfriend all night.
And you drank all the Brodega alcohol.
Yeah. And then, I take a shower if I can get in the shower. Depends how drunk I am. And then I go to bed.
Well, anyway, so I usually have to get up around 7.
Mm-hmm.
I get my kid up, get him breakfast, brush teeth, all that shit. And he's figured out the hack because we're potty training. And he's like, and the deal is, if he doesn't have an accident, and also if he shits in the toilet,
Yeah.
he can go watch YouTube.
Yeah.
He likes Ryan's World, the millionaire YouTube sensation.
Yeah.
And so now he's figured out that he will take a shit in the mornings. So he like on the weekend, and I'm fine with it because like I remember being a kid, I woke up on Saturday and Sunday, watched Saturday morning cartoons, Power Rangers, fucking Digimon, all that shit.
Yep. Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. It was like in that order.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons. So I'm fine with it because like it's to me that's like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I get them all situated. And I go and I brew myself some coffee, and I like the big old coffee mugs, pour it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I open up the blinds. We've talked about my recliner. I'm setting the scene. My recliner is right next to the window, and like today it was kind of cold and it's raining, and
Sounds magical.
The rain comes down right outside the window, so I hear the rain splashing, and I sit there and I drink my coffee. And I'll either read a book or I'll watch YouTube or I'll just contemplate life. And I sip on my coffee. And I found out that's how I come up with ideas for anything. The show, life. Like when I'm struggling, I need to start a podcast. So this morning I was doing that.
How old are you, dude?
26.
26. You just described like a 50-year-old's best morning ever, aside from like 7 a.m. Like, you usually wake up like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
For everybody else.
I take pride in that, actually.
Yeah. You're just like, Yeah, I can imagine when you're 50, dude. What are you gonna do when you're 50? You're gonna be in a like you're gonna be in a home.
Yeah. Hey, I've been middle aged since 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's only time. And everyone
Even
tells me
watching-
that.
Even you pulling up your Instagram to look at the story, and I just sitting there thinking, I was like, I hope they can realize how fucking old you look, with
Dude,
your-
I've said this, and like I know a lot of young people are like, I'm an old soul, and like them saying they're an old soul's like, I'm an old soul. I like to listen to Grateful Dead and Jimi Hendrix, and I wish I could have went to Woodstock. And I'm over here, fucking on my iPhone, poking shit with my one finger with my glasses halfway down my nose, and I tell people I'm an old soul, and I fucking own that shit. All right. Yeah, I am an old soul, but yes, I
Yeah,
do
'cause-
enjoy that. I think it's because of all the bullshit. Like, to be completely serious,
Mhm.
with all the bullshit that we deal with in our job,
Yeah.
I have found that Saturday, Sunday morning, when all is quiet, the kids watching TV,
Mm-hmm.
the wife sleeping, nobody at work is handing me their fucking problems or like getting mad at me because of whatever reason.
Yep.
And it's like the one time in my life in that whole week that I get some fucking peace and quiet. And I love it. I cherish that
Yeah.
hour of time I get of peace and quiet.
Yeah. 'Cause,
And go ahead.
I'm just like, we have like totally separate like ideas of like morning routines, and it's just funny because I'm 30, almost 33 now,
Yeah.
and like I'm sleeping until noon. The first thing that goes in my body is typically a Monster in the morning, and it's just like,
And the thing is, the coffee wakes me up, but
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are like, I can't even function
yeah,
until I've had my coffee. Coffee is like, it's Saturday.
yeah,
It's time to let the stress go. How about you pour a nice cup of Joe,
yeah.
listen to the rain, or how about you open a nice book?
I haven't read a book in I don't know how long.
I know, because you give me shit because I try to expand my vocabulary and
You have
learn
to-
something.
We talked about this because you use big words to dudes who barely made it out of high school.
that is fair.
Yeah. The army is equivalent of turn into a stripper, dude. Like you're just
Yeah.
like, well, college didn't work, or community college definitely didn't work.
Or
Let's,
I should not go to college. What do I do with my life?
yeah, let me join the army. Like,
Army's like, hey, all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what to do with my life, and some guy in a uniform slides behind you, and they're like, hey, I heard you don't know what you want to do with your life.
hey, dummy.
How would you like to make just above minimum wage
Yeah.
and have a place to live? Well, sorry. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. So I've noticed though, like when all the outside noise is gone,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I get my best ideas.
Yep.
And this morning, I was thinking about like sipping on my coffee. I'm like, I remember when life was easy when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, fuck this place. I can't wait to be an adult. And I was like,
Well, I regret that.
yeah, right? But the big one is think about your your rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
Your last thing you do as a kid, what is it? As a kid.
Yeah.
Even though like I would argue like you're not an adult till like you're like 23, 24 in my opinion, but like 18, right?
Yeah.
What's the last thing you do as a kid?
Well, we had like before you graduated, you had like the grad week or whatever,
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
and then, but it all depends. Like typically, like it'd be like you do prom.
So prom.
Yeah.
What I would argue that is your last thing you do as a child
Mm-hmm.
because you're graduating. Like you can say graduation, but like a lot of people turn that as like your child to adulthood, right?
Yeah.
But I would say like prom's the last big thing you do as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Well, I was like 19. I failed the first grade.
all right, well for most of us. So I'm like sipping there and I'm like, prom was, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you went. I know I went to two of them.
I went to 3.
It was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was just how naive I was. You know, I was like, this is like what it's going to be like going to bars and stuff. And then I go to bars and everyone wants to fight me because I'm over 200 pounds and I guess I'm a trophy or whatever. And like, I thought about it. I'm like, what if, and I thought it was like a business idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if I started a company where I host adult proms? And I thought of the pros and cons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cons are like, well, I could just go to the bar.
Yeah.
If I want to do that.
Or like
But
a club or something like that.
yeah. But hear me out, right? Prom's a different animal.
Yeah.
Take someone that you're definitely going to have sex with.
Yes.
Like, it could be a friend or something like that. You're most likely fucking. Like, prom's like like a few times as a kid, you're like, I'm fucking tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just calling a spade, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So there's that. Now, when you go to the club, sure, you dress up and stuff, but prom, adult prom, you now have adult money.
Yeah.
You can go buy that ridiculous poofy dress that you would not wear in public.
Yeah.
You would not wear to the club. You get that big poofy dress you wanted, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And then the guys, they're like, I'm definitely getting laid if I take this chick to adult prom. So they buy into it. Hey, you want to go to adult prom with me?
Yeah.
And you get to be nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
You get to relive the prom, but now you get adult money. There's alcohol at the prom. There's no chaperones, so you can shake your ass as much as you want.
Yeah. It also opens up for people who couldn't go to prom.
Yeah, people that missed out on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just, they just didn't want to go. They felt like, whatever. They felt to wherever story went, and you'd be like, well, now you can go.
And it wouldn't be one of those things where, like, it's every Friday.
Yeah.
It'd be like probably once a quarter.
Make it a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, our next adult prom is going to be June 19th or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of adults in tuxedos and poofy dresses getting drunk, acting all ridiculous.
With the dude who's got his matching vest the same color as her dress.
Yep.
You'd have to put like criteria on it, because people are just gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna show up whatever I want to wear.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's got to be a dress code.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't think it'd be as strict. Like, I give you the opportunity, but if you want to show up in a cocktail dress and a suit, I'm not going to turn you away.
Yeah. But you have to have the
corsage,
and then was it brogue or something? What is it? Corset? No,
it's a corsage and a
corsage. Yeah.
corsage is on the wrist.
Yeah.
Is it a corsage on the guy too?
I don't know.
I can't fuck. Well, either way, the flower on the lapel.
Yeah. So you had that's like required.
Yeah, right. Like, you come in and like you pay. If you pay in advance,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit cheaper, but you can pay at the door as long as there's room.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you do this whole thing where, like, what I would do for food is bring in like food trucks and shit.
Oh yeah.
Right? You got to, and that's the thing. You're paying to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You're still gonna, like, you have to get your food. There's a bar, all this shit. It'd be like just like going to the bar, but there's just a different atmosphere to it.
Yeah. Because you're all there for like the same nostalgic feeling. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good fucking idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I put it on the little Instagram story, right? Guess what percentage of people said they would attend an adult prom?
I think it'd have to be pretty high, because it's just nostalgic. It's like, that's the thing now. What is it?
100% of our voters said that they would attend an adult prom.
Well, they're our viewers. Of course they're going to love your
Well, it's because they're the best. Brodega listeners are always the best. Wink. But that gives me confidence, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we have, you ready for this? Can I get a drum roll, please?
No.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to touch anything, because
the Brodega adult prom.
Oh. The adult prom sponsored by the Brodega?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be a subscriber to get in.
Yeah. You can't get in when you're not subscribed. You're meaning if I get on YouTube right now on my phone and subscribe, I can get in. Yes.
Yeah. like, really? Like, yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
it's a great idea. I think
at first I was like, I was kind of like, it sounds like a ridiculous idea, but at the same time, I'm like, people live for nostalgia.
yeah, absolutely. People always like seeking for like, yeah, it's a for sure a thing.
Yeah,
And I think like if it's all like the same like-minded people too, and the same like they're all here for prom,
yeah,
I think it'd be pretty cool. Because then you're gonna have all those people who are just like, well, I was too cool back then to go to prom,
yeah, and
or I already had 2 jobs, or I had a kid or something like that
or
already
yeah,
in high
I
school.
dropped out or what
Yeah.
have you. And it gives you that opportunity, or maybe you did get to do all that, and you're like, "Fuck, those are some simple times. I miss those times."
Yeah.
And you get to, and what I would do is, I would try to set the themes for like a certain demographic,
Yeah.
right? Like, for instance, my demographic, we're gonna have a DJ,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna hear fucking Lil. All right, so we had a little technical difficulty. Apologize for that.
No worries.
It's like we're talking about adult prom, right?
Yeah.
So I'd set it for like certain demographics. Like my demographic, right? I grew up in like that fuckboy Jersey Shore, LMFAO
Mm-hmm.
era, right? But like that's the type of like you'd hear Lil Wayne and Drake getting down. You'd
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you'd hear the lighter flick and the cigarette drag, and you hear, and everyone knows some fire's about to drop, like all that shit, right? And then like you could even set it like what I'm saying is like I would try to. There's gonna be all great music there,
Yeah.
but like the theme around you is gonna be like your
Yeah.
era.
You could just take like if you sign up for like a ticket or something like that, like what year did you graduate high school?
Yeah,
And then like you take like the hottest hits from like, maybe even the average.
yeah.
Or like, just
And there would be like a range.
yeah.
Like Get Low came out when I was young, right?
Yeah.
But at my prom, bunch of 17-year-olds, skeet skeet motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea, dude.
yeah. So thanks, Coffee and Rain. Yeah, so like I legitimately I was like, that might sound a little ridiculous, but the poll right now is telling me I might expand that poll to a larger demographic. But be on the lookout.
Go to the bank, pull out a loan.
Yeah, be on the
Business
lookout. Adult prom coming to a city near you.
Hell yeah, dude.
So like I said, we're gonna mix in some mailbag questions.
All right, let's do it.
What I'm thinking is we'll go back and forth answering first.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll do is I'm thinking I'll just pick I'll count all of our mailbags. I don't know how many we're gonna get to. We're gonna
Mhm.
try and hit all of them.
Yeah.
And you pick a number and we'll answer that question.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Yeah, that's fair.
So give me a number between 1 and 12.
4.
4. How did I know that was coming? So, when did you start farting in front of your partner?
Oh man. Well, currently I have not farted in front of my current girlfriend.
Yeah.
However,
Okay.
past relationships, I think at a certain point it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Like it's just at a certain point it gets kind of like if you don't expect me to fart in front of you, I think about the year mark, the year anniversary mark. Because you're kind of getting out of like the honeymoon phase. You're getting to like the real life relationship things.
Yeah.
And if you're in like the relationship like 3 or 4 years and you finally fart and you're just like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. Like you're invested at
Well,
that point.
And my answer is actually I said around a year.
Yeah.
Because like let's think about it. Usually a relationship means that both people
Mm-hmm.
are looking for some type of I almost said misogynist. I hate women. No, some type of monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Some type of partner. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, you're gonna have to accept things of life.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, like dating, I'm weird about bodily functions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I remember like a mutual friend of my wife and I, like, she was so open about how she needed to take a shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like I wasn't ever attracted to her, but like if I ever was like thought about that, if I were a guy, I instantly she's like, I gotta take a shit so bad. I would be like, yep, nope.
See, I'm kind of I'm like different. I mean, yeah, that's there's other ways of saying it than I gotta take a massive shit right now or
I
something like
need
that.
to use the restroom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I
It's-
still say,
Yeah,
even being married.
yeah.
I'll be like, I need to stop and use the restroom because I'm an adult.
No, yeah. I think about a year at that point, because once you get past out of that honeymoon phase, like there's like everything is so perfect during that phase. I think you need to get to that real life farting, shitting,
Yeah.
pissing for each other, showering together type of shit, and like legit day to day life. And that's when you really, because of course, a year in, everything's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm perfect. I'm trying to be perfect. Everything's awesome. Dates are fucking amazing. It's when you get into the day to day life. That's when
And I agree.
you really see if you want to actually be with this person.
I would say a year. Like at some point you can't hide all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just being more like I'm not gonna fucking project it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
but
gonna be
I
rude
think
with
that-
it.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like that's just life, man.
Yeah.
So that was a good question.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with number 12
All right.
from listener apply pressure _1121, which is a way better Instagram name than I could ever thought of. So thanks, apply pressure.
Yeah.
Thanks for applying pressure to us on this question. Are aliens real, Tommy?
I'm gonna go with the Elon Musk answer and say, of course they're real. There's no way in the infinite span of the universe there isn't some other living creatures out there. It's infinite. It goes forever.
Yeah.
We've barely even scratched. Like, we haven't even explored 80% of the ocean. Do you think we explored? You know what I mean? Like,
So you took one of my points. So
Mhm.
mine is also yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is the when I saw this question initially, I was like, that might be a main topic question.
Oh yeah.
And but like to not turn this into a science podcast and me not necessarily being an expert on the subject or
Mhm.
doing enough research, I decided not to do that. But it was a really great question. So first thing I think about is, like you said, the large expanse, right?
Yeah.
How large the universe is. And you took it from me. How much of the ocean we haven't discovered. We've
Yeah.
never seen the depths of the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth.
Yeah.
Right? So we haven't even discovered our own ecosystem
Yeah.
completely, right?
Even just like the Amazon too.
We haven't even been to another planet.
Yeah.
Like human beings. We've been to the moon, not a planet though.
Have we though?
Fuck you, dude. Don't, no, don't. I'm not even going there. Right? So we've been to the moon, but we haven't been to another planet. We're like, maybe one day we'll get to Mars. Like, we're still talking about getting to Mars.
Yeah.
And I get we've put rovers and everything now, but what I'm getting at is we haven't even really left our galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
There's other galaxies. There's other planets that go around a star like we do.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, an alien could be another organism that lives on a planet.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just crazy to think that there isn't. Like, there's just no way and if
think
we're the
it's-
only thing out there, that's fucking.
I
That
think
sucks.
it's ignorant.
Yeah.
So, and like, regardless of your religion or beliefs or anything, I think it's ignorant to think that there isn't another being somewhere in space that has grown, has sentient life,
Yeah.
requires something to live, no matter how advanced they are. So, easy answer, yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get into the more mainstream, like, is there people that are like other living beings that are way smarter than us and all that shit? Well, technically, the government already said there fucking is during
Yeah.
COVID, and no one gave a shit because
Yeah.
we're all worried about making people feel bad about vaccine statuses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the government was like, yeah, here's like 300 pages of like shit that we found. Like, yeah, aliens fucking exist.
Yeah.
if there is other intelligent life out there that knows about us, this is my theory on it. And I won't admit it's not an original thought. I mean, like, I don't want to act like I'm the first one that thought of this, but I think that there is other life out there where they're like, they are not ready to encounter us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as in, like, if we showed up, the planet would go to shit. Like one of those things where it's like, for instance, there's an island off the coast of India
Mm-hmm.
that is quarantined off. It's illegal to go there by the country of India.
Hmm.
The reason being is there's an indigenous population there. And if we were to show up, because we have like all these vaccines for like smallpox
Yeah.
and polio and all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're so cut off from the world, just our presence showing up there, they would all get sick and die.
Yeah.
And also, like, they're still like in tribal ancient times. Like, when planes fly over, they still think it's like a god or some shit, right?
That's crazy, dude.
So imagine that if like one of us showed up, and mind you, the people that break the law and go there, they fucking murder. Like, this is a real place. You can look it up. What I'm getting at is, just say you get past the murder and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to communicate with them, how much you would blow their fucking mind about what they don't know.
Yeah.
So I legitimately think if there is a more intelligent life than us, I feel like we're kind of like that island where they're like, they're not ready for this shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they can't go a month without having another country talking about going to war with them type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion on it if we want to get more mainstream alien.
Yeah. I can see that.
I know I hijacked the mic, but I want to give you your chance for
that's
your...
absolutely, yeah. No, I feel the same exact way. I just think, I don't know, so if we're not ready, I just think we're not mentally willing to accept, other, I don't know, just, we're so just in our own bubble. I think that's the issue.
That's what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like...
And I think the same thing. Like if we were that, we're that island right now, and I just think, yeah, exactly what you're saying.
Like, we're so, like... And the way I think about it is, if there is life looking at us, they're like, yo, they're still worried about, like, digging in for resources and border disputes.
Yeah.
They're not even worried about interstellar space travel right now as a whole.
Yeah.
They're not fucking ready. Like, if there really is a race out there, I think they still think we're primitive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, hey, great question from Applied Pressure. You definitely applied pressure there. Please send another question. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll kind of get into our main topic.
All right.
1 through 12, don't do 12 or 4.
7.
7. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do you get your man to do booty stuff? And I don't know if this, and I'm gonna leave this one anonymous in case they wanted it that way. I don't know if this person means, do they want booty stuff done to them, or allow them to do booty stuff to their man?
I know who put this question in there. So read it again.
How do you get your man to do booty stuff?
I think this person is asking how are you like to do it to your man? Like if you're a woman,
Like pegging.
yeah, pegging, fingers in your butt, stuff like that. So I think it all starts with trust.
That's a very professional answer, Dr. Phil. Please elaborate.
Yeah. Let's see. How do you get your man to do booty stuff? Well, depends how long you've been in the relationship.
Okay.
So this is all gonna work in together, right? So it depends how long you've been in a relationship, right? And I think the biggest thing is to express your interest in doing these things, right? Because at first, like I'm sure as soon as I said this, like, you know, someone like has heard that, you know, 95% of viewers are like, fuck that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you have to express that you want it. You either your partner, you want to do it with your partner, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you truly love this person and you see the longevity with this person, you're going to do it. Because you have to think about it, right? The things that men do to women on some grades get really disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, some people are into it, you know, and it's fine. It's, no one's kink shaming you or anything like that. Whatever you're into, you're into. No one gives a shit. If you have a partner who's willing to do it, fucking congratulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to be open and transparent with those things, because if you're not and you just live in this world of a fantasy, that's typically how cheating starts.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just like, well, I'm too nervous to tell my partner who might, kink shame me or whatever and not be into it. And then you're so invested into this relationship now, it's not your norm. So then it becomes an issue. Like, where would you get this idea from? Blah, blah, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
So I just think, honestly, the biggest way to get any person to do anything originally is just to be honest on what you're into. Like, because a lot of guys, like Tom Segura said it best. Like he said in one of his stand-up things, he was like, he's just like in the beginning of a relationship, his partner asked him like, "What are you into?" Like, you get into that talking phase, like, "What are you into?" And his first thought was, "Don't scare her." Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you just have to be open and transparent of what you're into. And if they love you and if they're willing to do it, I mean, they're going to be willing to do it if they love you. You know what I mean?
And I think how human nature is, you're going to ease into that. But I think at
Yeah.
some point, you do have to be totally open with what you're into. And if you're looking for that monogamous relationship we talked about,
Yeah.
at some point, they're going to have to know all the shit you're into and accept you for it. Or maybe it's not
Maybe, yeah.
the thing you're looking.
Yeah, like everybody, like, you have that, misconception, like, oh, sex not everything, blah, blah. But it is, I mean,
It's a big part of
it's
a
a big part of a
relationship. It
relationship.
isn't everything.
No, it's definitely not everything, but it is a huge part of a relationship. Like, it's your affection. It's, it's typically how people show their affection, besides just, from typical PDA stuff like that. But
It's the most intimate part, the
Yes.
intimate way you can get with a human being.
exactly. And then, you want to be monogamous, and it, people are saying like monogamy's dying, stuff like that. Like, it's an unpractical, and it's not. It's just a lot of people think like, well, this person won't do it, so I need another person to do
Yeah.
this thing. I need one person to do that thing. If you're open and transparent with your partner, and you say, hey, I like getting fingers put in my ass, and you teabagging your balls on my eyes or whatever, or you using my prostate like a speed bag, like that's then tell them that. And then if they're not into it, that's fine. Okay, cool. Well, that's what I'm into. Sorry, it's not gonna work out.
I'm not going to follow that up. That was a great answer. And you heard it here first on the Brodega podcast. We approve of you getting your prostate speed bagged. Thanks, Rocky Balboa. All right, so we're going to stop the mailbag there for a little bit. We're going to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. And we're going to talk about our little main subject, right? We got Super Bowl Sunday coming up next week. And a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you do it next week? Well, next week we are planning on watching the fucking Super Bowl.
Yes.
And by the time the episode would come out next week, the Super Bowl will be over.
Yeah.
Why would you want to learn about the Super Bowl? You don't have to worry about football for like 5 months.
Yep.
So we decided to do it this week. And another thing happened, right? We had the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, finally said goodbye. And
They're 22 seasons.
22 seasons, 45 years old. So love him or hate him, he is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And I am going to stand on that fucking pedestal for a couple minutes.
Yeah. I just have some awesome like facts.
Yeah, me
to
too.
think. So, okay, I'll
No,
just go first.
no. I want you to tell him.
All right. So when Tom Brady entered the league,
Okay.
LeBron James was a freshman in high school. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Mac Jones, the current Patriots quarterback, was 1 year old. He was a baby. He has like a smash cake. Like
His
that.
replacement
Yeah, was 1 year old.
was a child.
Yeah, and it's just like those are two that really stuck out for me, because like, it's such a crazy, it's, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to think about. 22 seasons is a long fucking time.
And what I got from his message was he didn't want to be known as it starting to become sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like sometimes you watch Hall of Famers and they should have retired like 2 years ago, and it's kind of become sad to watch.
Mhm.
and that was like a portion of it, but the big portion was he was realizing his kids are growing up, and the amount of time he's had to dedicate to playing at such a high level, he wants to at least say he was like a dad.
Yeah.
Which I think we can applaud anybody who's like, I need to make a decision for my family.
Yeah.
My big thing was, and I said it to you last year when he won the Super Bowl, I was like, he should retire.
Yeah.
Because how many people get to retire on top, still known as the best, and right after winning a championship?
Yeah.
And instead, his last game is not being able to orchestrate a comeback in the divisional round of the playoffs, you know?
Yeah.
And he played at a high level. That's the thing. He was down 20, it was like 27-3.
Yeah. Yeah, we were watching at
Yeah.
the same time. We were texting back and forth about it.
I told you, I was like, they're not coming back. And they came back, and I was like, fuck. And here's the thing. I broke my rule, is you never doubt Tom Brady. It was more like that team was injured, like bad. But what I'm getting at is, so love him or hate him, right? Because like a lot of people in my area of where I came from hate him, because a lot of them were Colts fans. There was that rivalry between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And the Patriots stopped the Colts from going to the Super Bowl for a long time. But like what a lot of Colts fans don't fucking remember is there was a good part of the time where Peyton Manning was owning the Patriots. It's like, you know, the Patriots went to the AFC Championship like 7 years in a row or some shit right there, right?
Yeah.
The Colts were the ones that would fucking stop them, or like Peyton Manning in general, right? Everybody fucking forgets that. And then like there's all the, like, everyone talks about like, oh, he cheated. I'm gonna fucking tell you something right now, people. Everybody's cheating in some way, shape, or form. And what I mean by cheating is bending the rules.
Yeah.
Right? Like Bill Belichick finds ways to get guys the ball, and like you'll see like the rest will be like, they'll look at each other and they'll be like, can he do that? And they're like, I don't fucking know. Like I know there's a play, I think in like 2015, like I think he brought in like a lineman and put him at like slot receiver, and they're like, can he fucking do that? And you can tell the rest are like, I don't know. And what I'm getting at is like that team has always found a way to bend the rules. There is no rule on it, right? And you're like, oh, that's not like how... At the end of the day, if someone goes to that much trouble to find a way to get a leg up on the game, and there's no rule on it, you can't hate them for it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the deflated footballs? That's fine. Because I'm going to fucking tell you something. A lot of people want to bring up the footballs. They can't even remember the team that they got caught with the deflated footballs with.
Yeah.
It was the Colts with Andrew Luck. And the Colts tight end, Jack Doyle, flat out said it didn't matter if footballs were inflated or deflated. They beat the shit out of us. Like, I remember it was bad. It was like 35-10 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't fucking matter.
It's just a reason to not like Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's a reason. Oh, it's and we've talked about it before. It's a reason to hate on somebody that wins, because human nature, I found out, is we hate people that have success because we don't have that level.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a virus that's going on with the world that's constant. And it's, you know, all stemmed off social media and everything like that. But we're in the constant, like comparing to other people.
Yeah, social
You know what I mean?
media.
Yeah, and then like, you know, you're comparing your life to a snapshot of someone else's seconds of greatness. You know what I mean? Like someone just posted, I just got all this money, or I just bought this new car, or something like that. But like, yeah, that's cool, that's great.
Yeah,
But like, you're comparing your whole life to what they're willing to show you.
yeah.
And it's just, that's, I don't know.
That's not how you should live.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing with everybody. Like, no one likes a winner when you're losing. Of course.
and I get a lot of people could be like, well, you're just a shill. You like people that win. All right, so unfortunately, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And I can tell you, in the 20-something years that I've watched this fucking team, I can name 3, maybe 4 seasons where I was proud of my team.
Yeah.
That means most of the time, I'm like, this is, like, I stopped watching, like, right? So I think the reason why I've been able to appreciate greatness like that is because my team was bad. I didn't want to stay up on a Monday night and not get a lot of sleep when I have to work in the morning, because I don't want to watch the Bears get slapped around by the Packers. But I'll tell you this much: I stayed up to watch Tom Brady play the Patriots this year.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and I found myself where like that 4 o'clock game or that Sunday night game and the Patriots are playing, I'm like, I'll fucking watch Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I've been able to enjoy watching that level of greatness without really a bias. I'm not a Patriots fan. And enjoy the high level of football. Because at the end of the day, I watch football to be entertained. Cool,
Oh,
I
yeah.
root for my team, but I want to watch a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And more times than not, I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is impressive. I'm telling you, I probably watch every game during that season where we thought, I think the 2008-2009 season where the Patriots were going to go undefeated.
Yeah.
That
Until
season,
lose it in the Super Bowl. That's
yeah,
like, yeah.
that season was amazing, dude. Him and
Mhm.
Randy Moss, like, that is something I will never forget. And I'll tell you this much. The greatest football game, not professional football game, not college, the greatest football game I have ever witnessed live with my eyeballs was the 2015 Super Bowl. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots against the Atlanta Falcons. Fucking 28-3 at halftime.
Yep.
Falcons 28, Patriots 3. And we got to watch not only the biggest comeback in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
the biggest comeback in NFL playoff history, and the first overtime game in a Super Bowl. It was the greatest game I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Dude, it was awesome.
Like, if you want to talk about, this is like the Super Bowl is the most watched thing in America.
Yeah.
Any category. It's the most watched thing in America.
Mm-hmm.
That means the most amount of Americans are watching the same thing at the same time. Watching you play a fucking game and you are down 28-3 and you come back. You, the quarterback, is like, I get everyone says it's a team sport. I'll tell you this much. The hardest thing to be in any professional sport ever, name any professional sport, is an NFL quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Orchestrates the greatest comeback ever with the most amount of fucking Americans watching you on the biggest stage there is.
Yeah.
Greatest game I've ever seen in my life. I remember you were at my house.
Yep.
And I was pacing in the fourth quarter like, what the fuck is going on? This is happening. And it was like genuine. I could not contain myself.
It was insane, dude. Like just seeing, and then after that, it just became Tom Brady. Like that was like once he was like locked in, like you see that look on the side, on the side field, on the sidelines, and you just see him just like locked in. You knew you were fucked.
Yeah.
And it's just once you see that out of him, it was just
Tom Brady on the sidelines with his head down.
yeah,
Scary.
mm-hmm.
And I that's when the goat talk started.
Yep.
I remember right after they won that, like before you went home, like he's the greatest ever, dude. I remember showing up because we had to fly the next day. I was like, that dude, like talking with her, like that guy's the greatest football like quarterback ever. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
And just on top of that, right? So like right there, he gave me the greatest game I ever watched. So something my dad always told me, right? Sometimes we watch ESPN Class together. Like I actually got to watch Joe Montana throw the catch.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive for it.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN Classic, they had it on. Dad's like, you need to watch this.
Yeah.
And I knew what the catch was. But watching it live, I was like, holy shit. Like watching the whole game,
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Or, and I've seen some of those old games that I wasn't around for.
Mm-hmm.
But something my dad always kind of told me with certain people, like I grew up at the end of the Michael Jordan era. Like I was a toddler when MJ was out of his prime.
Yeah.
Joe Montana, people like that, right? Walter Payton, Barry Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always say shit. He's like, I wish you could have saw this dude fucking live. He's like, you haven't seen. He's like, you can watch it here and you kind of know what's gonna happen. And he's like, it's different
Yeah.
when you're watching someone of that caliber play and you're like, this is fucking amazing. Like my dad, like he got to watch the fucking flu game and all that shit.
Oh,
like,
damn.
like that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like the old man where like my son's already showing that he likes football.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to, mind you, he's going to grow up in a good area. He's going to get to see Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Mac Jones, guys
Yeah.
like Joe Burrow play football. Like he's going to have
And
his
that's
own
going to
era.
be his era, yeah.
It's going to be his era. And I'm glad he's getting to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, like, when he's like, dude, you know, like, Joe Burrow's fucking awesome, Dad. I'm going to be that old guy's like, I wish you could have watched Tom Brady play.
Yeah.
So,
I
peace
agree.
to the goat. We talked a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I'll just hit real quick on the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand this is not supposed to be a sports podcast. Some of you out there may not be that into sports, but something that I've realized is everybody watches the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, because even if you're not watching the game, you're at least there for the halftime. And this halftime show looks like it's going to be,
Awesome.
yeah, crazy.
Well, even then, you know what I've found out is all the people that watch the Super Bowl, I think, really just do it because it has been broadcasted as this event.
Yeah.
Where like it's like they have to watch it or
Yeah.
like they have to be a part of it. And a lot of times, like Super Bowl parties, there are people there just there to mingle.
Yeah.
And so it is this big thing, whether you're a sports fan or not.
Mm-hmm.
And just to put it in perspective, so like football's been around since the 40s
Mm-hmm.
in some way, shape, or form. And even before then, like certain colleges were playing football.
Yeah.
And then, you know, some guys got together like, I enjoyed playing football in college, and like, so did I. So they started a league.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point where you had the National Football League and you had the American Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Started to pick up speed. And we're talking like these leagues started with like the Leatherheads.
Yep.
And then it started growing and growing. And eventually these two leagues are like, we can make a lot of fucking money if we combined our leagues. And that's where we started getting the National Football League. And then if you watched football last week, you saw the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. That comes from those two leagues.
Yep.
So if your team's in the AFC, you play it like that. Used to be the American Football League.
Yeah.
You'll actually see that if you watch the Chiefs, they have a big A
Mm-hmm.
on theirs. They were like the American Football League champions, and then they played the National Football League champions, which was the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. The Super Bowl one, right?
So it was like both leagues were playing each other. Like both champs played each other. Super Bowl one was the Chiefs and then the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And the Green Bay Packers won the first ever Super Bowl.
Yeah. And they won the second one too, right?
Yeah. And so, well, actually, no, the Chiefs won the second one.
Did they?
And then the Packers won the third one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I believe the Packers played the Cowboys in the third one. But
Okay.
what I'm getting at is that first Super Bowl was people that were in attendance and local radio stations broadcasted that. So it wasn't national.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about it is the most viewed sporting event in America. You've got Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar all performing. You get a free concert
Oh, yeah.
on top of a football game. People bust out millions of dollars for you to watch a 30-second commercial. It is an event. It is something that you gather as a country to watch and mingle with your friends, whether you enjoy football or not. And that's what I think is special, because it used to be like because I used to think people just came for either the halftime show or the football. But like I said, seeing it more and being in the military, I've noticed people show up just to be a part of that big event.
Yeah. Just to be there.
And that's what's special about it to
Yeah.
me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I brought up the halftime show. This is what I'm going to say. And please, I urge anyone listening to please join me in this. There's always a couple assholes on social media that like I'm friends with that will be like last year. I like The Weeknd. I'll be honest, like it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm more of a metal guy and stuff, but I thought that Weekend performance last year was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that was entertaining. They give you a free concert.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's always somebody who's like, I didn't think the halftime show was that good. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that they didn't give you a 3-hour concert.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Imagine, they got, what, 30 minutes?
I don't like Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Katy Perry. That Super Bowl, she was on a fucking electronic lion.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can at least appreciate. Lady Gaga jumped off the top of the fucking stadium roof.
I like, and now people are quick with it. If there's anything that's like off about a show, there's a meme
Yeah.
like instantly.
The memes are great.
Yeah, I love like okay, the Super Bowl show's over. I wait about 30 minutes, and I go on. I'm looking for the memes, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and then because like I've never seen the Lady Gaga one, and it says Lady Gaga coming into the halftime show, and it's SpongeBob getting hoisted in with like his magic suit on.
Or it's like women jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga jumping off the roof.
Yeah,
And shit like that, right? Like that's even a culture now.
yeah,
But there's always some asshole that's like, I didn't think it was that cool. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, either way, again, I don't listen to Lady Gaga. I was like, I wouldn't have jumped off the stadium roof.
no, hell no.
That's what I'm saying is there's these big extravagant shows they throw on for free. Like like obviously they're making a lot of money for having the Super Bowl, but you as a person
Yeah,
get to watch this concert for free, to watch some person sing in front of a live crowd on an electronic lion that's like 20 feet tall. I think you can at least appreciate the spectacle that you're getting.
yeah.
So I join you. If someone's being an asshole, I'd be like, okay, sorry, Dale.
Yeah.
Sorry you didn't enjoy the weekend going through a fucking mirror maze with a bunch of dancers in sync. Just shit like that. It just kind of bothers me.
Yeah. So with that being said, who you got?
I haven't really thought of the score. And actually, I guess I should apologize. On this show last week, I said there was no way in hell the Bengals were going to beat the Chiefs. And now we're talking about the Rams and the Bengals playing in the Super Bowl. And again, I 100% apology to the Bengals and the fans. Like, we have a friend, Mike, who's a diehard Bengals fan. And I was like, no way on God's green earth is the Bengals beating the Chiefs today.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry for being wrong. That being said, I think the Rams are going to win.
So I didn't realize, like, I understood the Rams were stacked.
Yes.
Like I understood, like, you know, like a lot of money was going, because, like, you know, I'm into sports, but like it's not like my, you know, my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like something else that like,
I'm into cars, but I'd argue you wait. No way. I can get my way through a conversation.
Yeah.
But I am not going to sit here and tell you about an engine that was in this fucking car this year like you can.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Like, I know enough to talk
Yeah.
about. You know, I know what's going on, kind of. But I mean, so I'm sitting there because, like, you know, the Rams played the Niners. And I'm looking. I'm like, man, Von Miller. I'm like, damn. All right. I'm like, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Jalen Ramsey. I'm like, I'm looking on that side. I'm like, OBJ. I'm like, the Rams are fucking stacked, dude. They put a lot of money in that team.
So for those that don't know, a general manager is someone that trades people and also like picks people in the draft. Their GM basically traded away their whole draft for all. Like,
yeah, they don't have
OJ
a
and
pick
Von
until
Miller,
the first round pick until 2024
something like that,
or 2023 or something like that.
And after he like got all those people, his kids who are like older, but like his kids got up in this coffee mug that says "fuck them picks." And that's the thing. They're all in. That's the thing. I said it last week. So I'm a big fan of what the Niners and the Rams are very similar teams.
Mm-hmm.
I like what Sean McVay does. He's like, we're gonna have a good defense. We're gonna run the fucking ball. And when you start committing to us, like stopping us running the ball, then we're just gonna burn you with our talented ass receivers.
Yeah,
like that is like literally the perfect type of team you can build, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of what the Rams are doing there. And like I said, I'm telling you, the 49ers are almost a carbon copy of the Rams. The only difference I would argue is you don't have as many stacked receivers, which, like, I mean, at the end of the day, their GM traded away a lot to get OBJ, shit like that. That's what I'm getting at is the 49ers barely lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, he did just enough to get them to the Super Bowl because they were right there. They've always been a fringe team.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a couple more pieces to do that. Von Miller is not a full-time defensive player. He comes in, and that's the thing. He's a Hall of Famer. You have a Hall of Famer coming in playing half the plays fresh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. I think I'm not gonna keep shitting on the Bengals because I'm clearly not showing them enough respect. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Closer, closer than I would expect it.
and I'm gonna go with a theme here. Almost every single playoff game this year has been settled by a kicker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Matt Gay, the Los Angeles Rams kicker, kicking the game-winning field goal with 4 seconds left to win the Super Bowl. I'll call it 27-24 Rams.
Nice. Yeah, I got the Rams too. I don't know. I would say the same thing, score up, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people are expecting.
I'm not gonna keep shitting on the Bengals. I
But
still
I like what's his name? Money McPherson?
Yeah.
The rookie kicker.
go for him.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. Like my dad, an older guy, doesn't know slang terms. You know, like the kids say. I'm talking to my dad while I'm watching that Bengals game. Because like I was making there, I was like, this shit's over with.
Yeah.
And then like he's like, you might want to take a break for making dinner. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, holy shit. And my dad, old white guy from rural America, goes, I'll tell you what, son, that Burrow kid, he's got ice in his veins. And I'm like, where did you hear that? He's like, he's a cold motherfucker, is what he said. And like, yeah, this is old, you know, been watching football since the 70s. He's like, he's got ice in his veins. And he does. Like he's already looking like the future.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say though, Sean McVay is a football genius. Kyle Shanahan's football genius. Bill Belichick is a football genius. Like they're in that type of company. That defense, that Bengals offensive line is their biggest liability. Their defense is a fringe 10 defense. It's a good defense.
Yeah.
You can win a championship with that defense. Jamar Chase and their wide receiver core is fucking awesome. There's what I think it's going to come down to is I think that defensive line of the Rams is going to eat up that offensive line. I think Burrow and Chase are going to keep it close. I just think it's going to be one of the things where like they're getting it done, but maybe if they just had a couple guys that could give Joe a little bit more fucking time, they'd be okay. So I think that's what's going to be the liability and the deciding factor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just because he got sacked 9 times against the Titans.
It wasn't, and I'll admit they did a lot better protecting him against the Chiefs. Better than I thought. I thought it was going to be worse.
I thought it was going to be worse too.
So I'll give them there. They're better, but I don't know. Like my whole thing is Sean McVay, when he showed up, he spent time building that defense and then built the offense. He understands how important the defense is. That is kind of their staple, regardless of what you want to say about Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford and all that.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's going to be a deciding factor.
Right.
So yeah, that was some good Super Bowl talk.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm thinking is we'll do a couple more mailbag questions and then get the fuck out of here.
All right, sounds good.
And I want to emphasize to everybody, like, send in your questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post one every week. I'm going to post on our story on Instagram. Again, that's a great spot to stay interactive with us. I'm going to post polls and everything. And I'm always going to leave the last one as questions.
Yeah.
And maybe as we get more and more, we'll have to kind of pick. So the better the question is, more likely you'll be able to get on there. But I want to have more fan interaction. It can be fucking serious. It can be funny. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It can be about anything.
Anything.
So 1 through 12, we've done.
Not the numbers I picked.
Yeah, 4, 6, 12.
Go 11.
Or 4, 7, 11. Oh, this is actually a really good one.
All right.
And some listener Jasmine sent this in. I joined the army to see the world. I've seen it. Now, how do I get out? Which is actually kind of a good question because I'm kind of in that demographic. I joined the army to get out of rural America and see things and do things. That is a fantastic question. So, if you joined the army to do things, and I think you have to look in and say, do I feel fulfilled?
Yeah.
And like, am I okay saying this is enough? Saying, I'm okay just kind of living more of a normal life,
Yeah.
I think you start to make that transition. But I'll always throw this caveat with anything when we're talking about a career.
Mm-hmm.
You should always make a decision on what makes you happy, but you should also weigh with the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be happy and broke? Or are you going to be maybe a little less happy, not miserable, a
Mm-hmm.
little less happy than you'd be, but be financially stable and be able to pay your bills?
Yeah. And I think, yeah, that's for me, that's what it is as well. It's so for me, like if I'm measuring my happiness, it is based off of my stability. It's not even just financial and stuff like that, but it's just like if my life is stable, because you know, as you know, in our job things can go awry
Yeah.
and very quickly. So, and it's not, you know, it's for me, it isn't something I seek, but it's something I'm good at, or you know, I'm willing to handle the pressure or whatever, the stress that comes with it. Um, I just think for me, I'm always trying to look big picture.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other job you're ever going to have where you do 20 years and you get a retirement for the rest of your life on top of a disability based off our jobs. Like, we're going to be disabled as we get out. Our bodies are breaking down. We're getting older. It is what it is. We get vibrated for, you know, hours at a time on a
Yeah.
helicopter, and, you know, hearing's going to shit and everything. And it's just, it is what it is. But it's going to be 20 years of really hard work for another, you know, foreseeable long future, to where my stability will always be there. And then to get, like, my kids' college is paid for
Yeah.
already, done. You know, people stress like, how are we ever gonna? We have to take out a second mortgage on the house. We have to do, you know, like
I joined the army because I couldn't afford college.
it's. I mean, yeah,
I
like
didn't
I
want
mean,
loans.
I could, and you know, I could have went to college. It just wasn't my thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm back in college, and it's just, you know, it wasn't for me now. Seeing the big picture is providing for my kid for now and for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Taking care of my family, and that is what keeps me in. And yes, we've seen the world. We've seen a lot of the world together. Like we've been, you know, Spain, Germany, all these different places. Like most of them together.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you've seen the world, but there's a lot more of it to see. I'm not fulfilled yet. I'm not done. And but the biggest thing is if you come to work every day and it is work. The biggest thing with the military is you didn't sign up for a 9 to 5.
Nope.
You understood that. And if you go into that thinking that this is what it's going to be, you're not going to have a good time. Like, you have to go in and understand that it's going to be hard work, but if you can see down the road and see what it could provide for you, then it might change your mind. But some people are so tarnished towards the military because they've been fucked, because they've been, you know, whatever, you
Yeah.
know. But it's all about perspective. Like if you know, like, yeah, whatever, you know, you had a bad month or you had whatever, like you're gonna have a bad time in the military, no matter what.
There are times I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
Still.
but you have to, like, for me, you can't put that I'm being screwed right now, and then take that mindset and take it all the way down with you.
I think the theme is you're like perspective.
Yeah, it's perspective, absolutely.
You know, like, well, you're talking about after 20 years, you get like a form of pension, right?
Yeah.
And it's around the medium average of America.
Yeah.
So you could sit on your ass the rest of life, and you're at least going to make the average American income.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go get a high paying job or even like a low paying job, you're making money on top of that.
Yeah, it's just,
And most of us will be like 40.
yeah,
You know,
43.
I'll be 38. Like,
Yeah, you still be in your 30s with a pension.
and I'll have like pretty much the medium income of an American, and then I
Yeah.
could go to get a whole new career.
Yeah, a whole new career, something that you're into, or even just something that you just want to make money on top of. And then, like, I always joke, like, when I'm done, like, I'm gonna go water plants at Home Depot, dude, and be fine, making 80, almost 90 grand a year, you know.
Yeah.
Once it comes to like inflation and stuff like that, but you know, it's just like, like for me it is so trivial to think of like, of course I'm gonna stay in.
Yeah.
Like, why would I not? But I do understand other people aspect of it. They want to do different things. That's fine.
And I actually want to kind of feed off this question a little bit outside
Mhm.
the box. I've joined the army and I've seen the world. I know somebody, speaking of myself, that wanted to see the world. Two things I'll put in perspective for anybody that might listen now or in the future that's thinking about joining the military is I'll never forget one of my drill sergeants when we were waiting in line to eat. He was just asking people why they joined the army, and one person was like, "I joined the army to see the world, drill sergeant," and he's like, "The only part of the world you're gonna see is some shithole in the Middle East." And while that is somewhat true,
Yeah.
like part of being in the military is going to places nobody wants to fucking go,
Mm-hmm.
war zones. I will also say the army does offer you a lot of opportunities to go to like Germany and things like that. And though you can do it in a conventional army unit or military unit,
I was gonna say this as well.
I would say if you are really dead set on having a broader and I guess a bigger chance at seeing more of the world, I would recommend if you're going to join the military or in the military to join a soft unit of some sort, no matter what your job is. Most
Yeah.
soft units offer something. Soft meaning special operations. Those guys get to travel the most.
Yeah.
Like if you're an infantry, go Green Beret.
Yeah.
Like
Or
you're gonna
like,
see
even
places.
like Rangers stuff like that, or
Yeah.
it's just you, and it's not sad to say that there's a conventional army and then there's there's different tiers. But yeah, if you think you're a you're just an S1 clerk or whatever, think you're gonna see the world living or stationed at Fort Bragg, you're gonna see Fort Bragg and JRTC. That's what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
You're gonna see Barstow, California a few times, and then if you're lucky, which is like not really saying lucky, you might see Afghanistan or Iraq or
Kuwait.
and that's cool. I mean,
Kuwait gets 120 degrees in the summer.
yeah, and that's fine. But if you want to see more of the actual world and go to a lot of different places and have the freedom to explore them places as well, because you get to these soft communities, you're an adult.
Hey, make sure you're here at tomorrow at 8:00.
And that's your guidance. And it's just like, you get to these places and you can actually explore. Like we were walking.
One time we rented a car.
Yeah.
Just rented a car out of our own pocket, and we went to another city.
Yeah, but it's just join a soft community.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like think about what you need to do to join a soft community. Do it, you'll have a better chance of seeing the world.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to do two more and we get out because this is a longer episode.
Yep.
All right, so the first one I want to do is this question was, fuck Dan. And just to emphasize that question, I too believe fuck Dan.
Yes. Thank you.
Fuck you, Dan. All right, the last question, and it is geared towards me, but I think it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, how did you get your confidence at such a manly level to order a pumpkin spice latte with no shame? Well, let me tell you something. At some point in your life, if you're not going, you know what? I could give a flying fuck what other people think of me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true freedom.
It is. It's yeah, as soon as you're able to not give a shit about what anybody else thinks about you, that is true confidence, freedom. That is, and it's awesome. It's the eating alone. I'm fine eating alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Going to the movies by yourself. You ever went to the movies by yourself?
It's awesome.
It is amazing. No one's gonna sit next to you because you're by yourself.
The only thing I will say to that though is there was one movie I went to see by myself and I was like truly into, and I remember I like looked to my right to like whoa, and there's no one there. I was like, this is insane, imaginary friend.
Yeah. So even just like the last couple of years, I've learned I'm okay with being alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes I prefer than being around people. It's not that I'm an introvert or anything like that. People are like, I'm an introvert. I cannot do that. I was like, nah, I mean, I'm a social butterfly too, and I need to be. I can talk about most subjects. I can hold a conversation in depthly, and that's fine. But when you really start to understand yourself, and you like pumpkin spice or whatever the fuck
Pumpkin
it is.
spice lattes.
Yeah, sorry, but you like them. That's fine. That's your thing. You're gonna go get it, and that's great. And you're gonna have a fucking great time. And someone behind you is gonna make a fucking comment, and is gonna be like, I'm still gonna enjoy this shit.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at is like, I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah, you are.
I consider myself more of a barbarian. Like I'm gonna figure out how I can punch this thing to work instead of like finessing it. But I'll admit there were times I did not go to, or I would have like my girlfriend order it or something like that. The day I was truly free was the day I was like, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
And that is what I'll say is like, if you enjoy something, go fucking enjoy it. Cause I'll say another one. Mexican restaurants. I used to order things that didn't sound like white people stuff on purpose. I do that to an extent now. Like, for instance, if I I work with people from all walks of life and I go on work trips. And I work with a lot of Hispanic guys and they'll find, like, I trust a Hispanic guy who's like, yo, this place is legit from what I'm seeing. We need to go here. And if I'll go to this legit ass place and order, I'm gonna try and get some really authentic shit because that's where they brought me here. But if I go to a chain Mexican restaurant, I used to be like, and I try to find the most like Hispanic sounding things. They're like, oh, cool, a white person ordered a cheese quesadilla.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, but like then I finally had perspective. I was like, they know they work at a chain Mexican restaurant that really isn't Mexican food. And I was like, fuck that, dude. If I want a torta, I'm gonna get fucking torta.
Yeah.
And that's my advice. If you like something, fuck everybody else, because at the end of the day, you're enjoying it.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't let anybody fucking yuck your yum.
So I know this is a long episode. I think we had some good conversation. I really liked the mailbag.
I did, yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like thinking about this way, like smaller subjects, and like the aliens one was a great one. You know, like shit like that. Like that. Like I didn't think we were going in depth with the whole army question.
Yeah.
So
the butt stuff.
I want to keep up this. I want to keep up this mailbag. So plan on that. So I think it's a great way for you as a listener to be involved.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had a energy drink burp.
Nice.
So
There's energy drink in that cup.
yeah, I'm telling you know what? Sorry, we're gonna go a little longer. This is a fucking game changer right here.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's you want to carry around a cup that says like I'm better than you.
Dude. All right, let's
I like how you're saving the turtles though.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a metal straw. All right, can we make a deal?
Yeah.
And there's really only benefit for me in this deal, but feel free to say no. If the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, you don't have to do it. Actually, yeah, since you want the Rams to win. If the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, you have to drink one energy drink out of a metal cup with some ice, and like just tell me what you think.
All right.
I'll admit, sometimes I feel a little emasculated drinking out of a fucking straw. Like, But I'm telling you,
women
like,
do to not mess with their lipstick.
So yeah, I know. I feel the ice halfway. I pour an energy drink in there, and I'm telling you, the temperature and the way it just tastes different. I'm telling you, dude, it's a fucking game changer.
All right. If they win,
if the Rams lose, you have to drink one energy drink out of a Yeti fucking metal tumbler.
I got one
with a straw.
I've only put alcohol in it. So.
I get it. I'm telling you, I enjoy drinking alcohol out of these things. Like I'm telling you, it's a fucking game. I drink out of a can at work on a Sunday. This is it. I'm telling you.
All right. I'm down.
Right. Now I'm gonna do the closeout. So, keep doing that mailbag shit. We are hitting the COVID cleanse big. I got my numbers back from the personal trainer I contacted. Cole's got some work to do. All right. So look for those workouts Monday, like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Look for those workouts. I'm going to start out with I know we're both going to start out with a run tomorrow morning. I'm doing 2 days at least because, like I said, Cole's got some work to do. And I'll be doing weights. So what we'll do is we'll post the cardio. We'll post a more anaerobic weights workout exercise. Feel free to join us, and feel free in the comments of those to tell us how the workout went, progress you're seeing, all that shit.
Oh, absolutely, guys.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram. It's a place to interact with us. Give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube, and a review or even a like if you want on any type of podcast platform. We really appreciate it. And please make sure to tell your friends and share. We really do appreciate it, and we want to grow the community. And last thing, we will be making a purchase of Brodega stickers to buy this week. We're going to put the order in, and then when they get in here, we will announce it on the show.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, hey, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to the podcast for Bros by Bros.
Sweet. All right. Peace out, guys.